Facebook, and welcome to KUAM News D18, the after party. Still with us, sir? All right. My co-host Sabrina Salas-Manzanati. My name is Chris Barnett, and our guests from the crowded Democratic gubernatorial ticket, Senator Dennis Rodriguez and his running mate, David Cruz here. So, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Buenas. Happy day.
Thank you so much.
Right off the bat, we had, we had Gutierrez Verdalio, Ogun Limtiaco come on, and the first question we asked was, what's your strategy for the next couple of days heading into Super Saturday?
Yeah, well, we're just we're not getting any sleep. We said we're not going to sleep till after Saturday, so we're just going out there and pressing the flesh and try to get the votes out for this important day on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. We're out there waving, the corner of the streets. We were out there this morning over there by Harvest, and that turnaround's just getting great honks and just waving it at everybody, like Dennis said, getting the message out.
What's the campaign been like, boots on the ground? Have you guys done a lot of canvassing?
Yes, we've done a lot of canvassing, which is very different, because this is going to be my 5th election. And it's really evolved and changed on how these things are now. We used to go out to the streets and canvass, knock on doors. We still do that. A lot of times, a lot of people are not home, so they're out in the malls or anywhere else. And social media has a lot to do now with that change. So we're just doing a mix of different things.
And what's it been like for you, Dave? I mean,
oh boy,
what a time to decide to get involved in politics.
Yeah, you're telling me. This has been a steep learning curve. I've been in the military for 30-some years, and being in the junior ROTC program for almost 10 years. Dennis come over to me and say, "Hey, you want to be my running mate?" I said, "I told him, you're crazy, man. I'm not a politician." But I tell you what, it's really gratifying and very humbling at the same time, Chris. And getting out there, to know the people and know their issues, and just networking out there, it's just incredible.
So how did this team come to be? Because I know early on there was the picture, right, that was floating around with Carl Gutierrez and you actually together. So
he's caught me like that too. Uncle Carl, he likes to catch you by surprise in a picture, and then people start talking, and I don't know if that's what had happened there, but you put that to rest pretty quick.
Yeah, no, I decided to run early this year, and so there was 2 of my opponents had asked me to run with them, and of course things just didn't align that way. So I decided to run, myself as governor, and so we were looking for a good lieutenant governor candidate. Someone very different, someone who wasn't a politician. I knew it was going to be a hard thing to try to find someone like that. And so Dave and his wife Jenny and my wife Lena are good friends, and they work very closely. They got close during their days at the GMH Volunteers Association. And so when Lena and I spoke, we prayed about it, a lot of discernment, and so that's when we approached them. And Dave's right. He says, "No, you guys are crazy. I'm not getting into politics, So it took him a while for him and Jenny to think about it as well. But his response when they finally, I think we were at, we probably had dinner at our house when they came over and said, when they answered us on him agreeing to join us, he says, at first I thought this was crazy. I'll never get into politics. But then he said, but he looked at it the way he joined the military. The country called him to service, and he says, just like now, Guam, our island, calling him to service to give back and make Guam better. So I said, man, this is the right guy. So that's how this partnership started.
what was the deciding factor for you? Like, you want to do this?
Well, it's just a chance to go out there and make a difference. I do that with the junior ROTC program at JFK. We've done a tremendous job there, along with the other instructors. Educating the kids and showing them opportunities so they can go out into the future and take advantage of those things. And I said, this is a chance to actually make a difference for the entire island. I've done it in the military, I've done it in junior ROTC, and just was a perfect fit.
So I know you'd never gotten into politics, but after giving it a try, do you see why people do get into politics?
Yeah, I think a lot of them are genuinely concerned. They do want to make a difference. Believe me, it's being in it the first time. It's a tough job. It's not easy. Mm-hmm. It really is. It's like the biggest job interview of your life.
Absolutely.
now I can truly appreciate what politicians go through.
Right.
So I think everybody should try it at least once.
Right, there you go. Good advice. Everybody try it at least once.
At least once.
Not this election, though. It's a little late.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Senator, what was it like having so much competition for this primary election? I mean, people always talk about the Democratic Party, but, one thing you can say is it's definitely thriving when you have, 4 different teams. So what's that been like for you?
It's been very good. I think it's a good sign that a lot of the Democrats want to step up. Some of them step up again, to give back to the community. But what the message that we're hearing loud and clear is that people want change, real change, and so that's why there's you can see the numbers with the Election Commission, the number of people who came out to register.
Right.
Now we're going to see if that translates to a high voter turnout on Saturday. But that's the message we're getting on the streets, is that they just want real change, and they the people want to take back their government. Those that have been hopeless, have felt hopeless and not wanting to get involved, are coming up and saying, no, I still have a voice. There's still hope for us to be heard.
What was it like for you? I mean, it's a big risk to go from, a lot of people are saying you could have been Speaker of the next legislature with a Democratic majority, but to go from that kind of safety zone where, you've crafted a good career, you've done a lot of great things in the legislature, and to step out and put yourself out there and have that risk, what's that been like for you?
It took a lot, as I said, I have a young family, and so I put everything on the line, and we thought about it, we said, okay, we can run for senator again, and because there's so much openings that probably, if I do a good campaign, I can just go back to the legislature.
Right.
But then being in the legislature for 8 years, I know what can be done. I know what I could do there, what I've done, and seeing what the island needs, I said so much can be done as governor. And so that's how I made that decision. Took my wife and kids to understand this, and know that we got to put everything on the line, because if things don't work out, I don't have a retirement pension to go back to. So it's putting everything on the line and just following my heart that this is what we need to do if we're going to make this island the place we want our kids to live in.
What's it been like for your family, Dave?
Well, they were kind of resistant to the whole thing, and they said, wow, what an announcement. They said, Dad, I don't think this is you. They were actually totally against it at first, but eventually, after we talked to them, and not only our immediate family, we went around to the relatives on both sides and told them this is what we're going to do, and they would kind of just gave you that look like, boy, I don't know, this is for you. But after a while, everybody jumped on board. They're very supportive. So, and now it's just no turning back. Now only a couple of days left. So,
and I think that's the great part of at least this campaign is that we've gained a new family. Just seeing his family come out, people that were never involved in politics. Some of them said they didn't even vote because they just felt like, that their voice doesn't matter.
Right.
But to see them come out now and to see the drive, that's what inspires us. So it's been a good experience.
Has there been a family or maybe just a memory that you can share with us in your canvassing, a family that you've met that you said, this is why I'm doing it, this is why I'm running?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, people that I think a lot of people don't don't realize what a lot of families go through. A lot of families felt like they're victims of injustice, and so when they hear what Dave and I want to do, what we say, what we put in our plan, you see that tear in their eye, and that feeling. You see it, that okay, am I going to believe Dennis? Am I going to believe Dave that this could be real? There's still that hope to do things, to redeem themselves too. And we stand there and we say, I don't blame you for feeling that way, but all I have is my word, is our word, and we're telling you we're real. We're real, and what we say we're going to do, and so that's why we're just working as hard as we could to get elected.
I mean, as an observer, I pay close attention to everything. The campaign has been very courageous in the things that you've come out and said you were going to do. With so many Democrats running, it's amazing how few of them really cater to that hard left grassroots kind of group. And I mean, you went to the Chamber of Commerce and you told them, like, don't expect any breaks, you know?
Yeah.
Which took some balls.
Yeah.
And so was that something that you've always, you know, kind of been about in the legislature, or was it just when you said you wanted to run and people wanted change, was that was in your mind, is that that's the kind of change that people want?
Yeah, you know, I know, you know, people thought they saw a different Dennis, right?
Right.
Because, you know, I've always been quiet, and yeah, I've worked quietly. I do things. I don't. My staff even knows I don't like press releases when we do things, right? We just do the work and get it done. But you know, our people want. Our people are craving for something different, and so, you know, the things that we say we're going to do, we know might have cost us some votes. But if we're really going to say we're going to change things, why wait until we become governor, lieutenant governor? Do it now. You know, start with us now and say, you know, we're going to be bold, you know, and say and be brave about it. And whether it's going to cost us votes or not, time will tell. We'll know on Saturday night if what we've done in being honest and open to the people actually still works.
You know,
I wanted to ask because you talked about the chamber. What's the real story? What kind of flack did you get after the chamber meeting?
You know, I actually got some good encouraging comments afterwards. I did. You know, from small business owners.
Okay.
No, actually, I even went to go visit because we got some calls. Went to visit some small business owners and they were happy. You know, of course, there's those that have been around for very long. And expected us to come there and say, you know,
and kiss the ring, kind of.
Yeah, right.
But it shouldn't be that way. Look, I want business. We want business to thrive.
Yeah.
Because if you have a good business community, then our people are better off, right? But we can't just cater and cater to them, thinking that, you know, what they say and what they want is what's going to happen. There's the you know, that divide from the haves and have-nots are growing wider. If we don't close that gap, this is not the Guam that we all want it to be. Right. So we just got to be upfront. And I told them, look, we respect you guys. We want you guys to thrive. We're going to be part of our administration. But when you succeed, help us pick up the people on the bottom so that we go together, we move up together. You know, so I think they understand that.
You know what I thought was interesting is, and I think it was at that chamber event where you talked about eliminating deputy directors, and there was just
I got a lot of slack from that.
Yeah, there was a gasp. You know, I mean, people were like, "What is he talking about?" But then in the budget bill, I mean,
yeah. So actually, the speaker,
they were actually talking about it.
The speaker when he introduced that budget bill, he talked to me and says, "Hey, his staff, I'm talking to Carlo." And said, we took some of your ideas and put it there. We took away the deputy directors, some of the other proposals we had. Yeah. But it just makes sense, you know. And so you're going to see more of that.
And it's really a no-brainer. We're not going to fire anybody from the current, classified positions. We're just not going to hire into the deputy positions. I think that's going to eliminate and save some money, along with all the staffing positions in Antelope. You don't need $4 million of staff assistance.
And we're serious about that. Right now, the governor's office, the budget is about $8 million. We're going to cut that in half, and you'll see that when we come in, because we did the analysis of the budget and what it funds, and we said we can do this with half that amount. You know, so that's
and I feel like you could do it with half the amount and still, you know, appease your supporters and still do what you have to do to get good people in.
We'll drive our own cars too, believe it or not. We don't need a security detail
you also
all around
talked
us.
about shrinking the amount of government agencies, right?
Yes. So the Organic Act gives the governor the authority to restructure and reorganize the government. And so we lay that out. We give a snapshot of looking at all the different agencies and consolidating that into nine agencies. So we're going to do that on the first day in office. Executive order to restructure and reorganize and use existing agencies as interim lead agencies. And then we're going to, of course, send down to the legislature bills to create some of these new agencies that shows how everything will align. And that's where we're going to actually see a modernized government. Right now, you have different agencies kind of doing the same functions.
Yeah.
And you know, you can't just say we're going to shuffle around and put this agency here. You got to actually consolidate it. And Dave and I, we took the time to put it on our plan.
It's great, and these are ideas that a lot of people didn't. I mean, who says they want to cut jobs in an election year?
Yeah,
it's crazy. You know, you talked about family, and I noticed that your daughter works very closely with you in the campaign. What's that been like?
Great, but I always tell her, never get into politics. So I tell her she's helping us. Actually, does a great job. She's great. She's really good. But then I always tell her, because of the negative stuff, right? As a father, I don't want to see her get hurt.
Right.
And so I said, after this, then you're done with politics.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yes, yeah.
And then let's talk about some of the dirty things. It's been a really especially lately. It seems like they waited till the last couple of weeks to really just kind of shoot out all these negative, dirty ads. So what's you guys' take on that?
Yeah, well, it has no place. I've said it when I announced in January that I was going to run, that if we want to see change, we want to see change, start with us. We won't do anything, we won't attack, we won't do anything that will offend our opponents, because we're very confident that if you look at our record, look at our plan that we offer, we can stand on that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not into bashing other camps. Dennis and I, we're honest folks. We really are. We just want to come in and make a difference, make the real changes, and be friends with everybody. Just shake hands at the end. It's very competitive. I look at it just like a basketball game, because I play a lot of basketball with the Masters. So, everybody works. They play hard, but at the end of the game, somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose, and just shake hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Regine mentioned in our earlier show, D18 tonight, about she called them disgusting, distasteful. And also was mentioning about there was one ad that appeared to have been from
us,
your camp.
That's right.
So maybe if you'd like to speak about that.
Yeah, so we right away when we were informed that there's this ad that was out attacking one of our opponents, the Agna Olympiaco team, and made it look like in the end advocating for us, we went out right away and said to say this is not ours. Number one, it violates Guam law. Guam law requires that whoever's funding it must approve it, right?
Yeah.
That disclaimer must be there. And come on, it was so obvious that it's one of our opponents, making us have chaos and fight within ourselves.
Right.
But yeah, so our people are smart, though. Our people are smart.
Yeah, and I think that if you want to talk about someone's record or and be negative in that way, I think people tolerate it. But I feel like a lot of these ads going around, people maybe they get a kick out of watching it, but I'm not really sure if it's swaying any votes. It's either meant to rile certain people up or make other people upset.
Right.
Yeah, there's even in with social media, and that's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
You can go out there and reach as much people as you could, but then you also have, because we're seeing we've even had a page that looks like our page that comes out to purport that it's coming from us, and we've told people, hey, we have one page. This is our page. And so, yeah,
and that's so distracting. It really keeps you from moving forward with the campaign when you have to double back and say, no, this isn't that, or and that's why I feel like sometimes
that's their whole intent. Is
right,
kind of throw us off and distract us. So.
Yeah.
We talk about this being a basketball game and a competition. Who do you guys think is your main competition going into Saturday?
All of them. We look at all of them as our main opponents, and we just got to go out there and campaign and tell people we're the best team.
Nice.
Got to have a strategy. It's a war zone.
Yeah, that's right. So his military background says, hey, this is like the war zone. The only thing, though, I told him, I said, yeah, Dave, but when you go to war, you know who your enemy is. You know where they're at. This one, they're coming from angles. You don't know. You just don't know.
And you've been in politics, but and talking with you on different things over the last few months, you're telling me that this has been a real learning curve for you. And can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. And for running for senator was very different. There's 15 seats available, right? And so with this now, it's just one seat. From day one when we announced, it was so hard just to move forward. One problem after the other, right? And so it just felt like people were just putting their thumb on us and not making us move up and move forward. But things have just worked in our favor, and we're here today. We're 3 days away from the primary election, and so we just thank God, thank our people that we made it to this far.
So you talk about all the other teams on the Democratic side being your competition, but maybe you could just tell us and kind of summarize what sets you apart from those other teams.
Yeah. Well, number one, we're the youngest team, right? I'm the youngest candidate there. I've never ran. David and I never ran for governor or lieutenant governor. All our other teams, at least one of them, have run for governor and lieutenant governor. One has served as governor. And so when we go out to the people and they say, they want change, they want real change, give us that opportunity, because we've never been able to serve in that capacity, never been able to come out there and tell the people of Guam, what we're going to do in that capacity. And so, we have our records in the legislature. Most of us, all of us served in the legislature, my other Democratic opponents. And so, the work that we've done, we'll stand on that. And we're the only team that has took the time off to speak to our people, whether you're a businessman, whether you are a homeless individual. David and I went out and spoke to them and asked them, how are we going to address the challenges we face? And we came up with this 10-step action plan.
Nice.
The only team that has put out a comprehensive plan.
You're also the Wi-Fi guys.
The Wi-Fi guys, yes.
Was there any point for you, Dave, because this is your first time into the political arena, that you may have thought, like, what did I get myself into?
Every night I say that. But being in the military, you get committed. You got a mission to accomplish. So once I get that commitment, I just don't turn back. And
it's funny how people have even tried to put rumors out there early on.
Right.
Oh, Dave is backing out. He's not going to be there, and spreading that rumor all around the island. Yeah. And so he said, no, if you guys know Dave, he's a man of his word. He has integrity. He's a military. He's an officer, right? And so we're here, 3 days away, and we're here.
What's going to be important for you to accomplish as lieutenant governor if you're elected?
Boy, there's a whole host of things. I'd really want to manage the agencies for Dennis while he's doing out there, the politicking, doing this strategic stuff that he needs to do. And I can cover all the different agencies, manage that, get it right size and cut the costs, and I've got a background in the National Guard also. I spent 27 years, so I can step in and help him advise about the National Guard, because he's going to be the commander-in-chief.
Right.
You heard the National Guard was called out just for the floods, right? So, I bring that as a strength also. My background's also in finance and logistics and, the auditing portion and the contracting, so I know about procurement. We want to really get a handle on procurement, because there's a real issue. People that are doing procurement right now, I don't think they're trained or certified. In the military or the federal government, you have to go through a lot of schools to be a contracting officer. Same thing with the budget process. It's a big deal in the federal government. They got appropriations and authorizations. And I look at the way GovGuam budgets, it's just bizarre. There's one big pot in there, nothing's protected. People just grab stuff out of there.
Yeah. I think
that whole thing needs to be reformed.
Yeah.
It really does. It's not workable. Nobody budgets in GovGuam. How the heck can you manage money that way?
Like a true military guy.
And that's one thing. People don't know his when he was in National Guard, he was the USPFO, right? And as the USPFO, you report directly to the National Guard Bureau. You could talk about because that's important.
United States Property Fiscal Officer, there's one in every state and territory, because you're handling all those federal funds, millions of dollars, and you're handling procurement, construction, all the supplies and equipment. That all belongs to the federal government. They need what they call a Title 10 guy, a federal guy in there that can oversee all that. And we have to report to a 4-star general back in Washington, D.C. So that was a big job. We oversaw contracting, finance, procurement, internal audits. This is really what GovGuam needs. It needs that different set of eyes to look at that. And that's why we want to stand up the Inspector General office along with the Special Prosecutor. Somebody needs to be looking at GovGuam and inspecting it every year practically, and establish an internal control program. And look at the stuff you hear about the Guam Massive Transit Authority. They have no cash control system there. Anytime you handle cash, you got to have some kind of internal controls for that. Otherwise, people are going to get sticky fingers, and they're just going to walk away with that.
Right. So you would apply those kind of military techniques to managing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. GovGuam needs it. The taxpayers need it.
Senator, you got to tell us what's your plan on primary Saturday.
Start off our day like I do every election. Is my wife and I, the family, go to mass at 6 a.m. and then we go get something to eat, you know, and then go.
What are you eating for breakfast?
You know, if I'm with my boys, it's McDonald's.
Okay.
You know, it's McDonald's. So probably gonna have that. Or since
So
it's
grassroots
Saturday,
breakfast.
or Saturday, we'll probably go last minute campaigning at the flea market. You know, get some barbecue, right? At the flea
Shish
market,
kebabs.
shish kebabs, and then go out and vote. That's the first thing we'll do, and then we'll Dave and I are gonna go around the island, you know, and then end up probably somewhere up north where we'll just try to get the last votes that we can get.
What's your plan?
Same thing, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to have somebody driving us around, my wife and I, then we're going to hit all the different precincts and voting sites. To go around, shaking hands again, you know, just really press our message out there. It's going to be a very busy day, but it's going to be exciting. We're looking forward to it.
You know, you mentioned the flea market, and I actually spent some time there because we did our own listening tour for our election coverage, and gosh, there was a lot of upset people, ranging from different issues and from farming. They just felt there was no help for farmers.
Which is the cornerstone of what we want to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and maybe you can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, well, with agriculture, we're really going to ensure that it's the front of the line. People say, that's just a big dream that's never going to happen. It's a dream that we can all together make happen, right? If you look at this post, someone shared me a post from Detroit. They call it the Agri-Hood. Right in the middle of the city, they have this one piece of property where they've developed into a farm. You know, it's a community farm. And so when you drive down Waisangshan, you see the homes on both left and right side. Behind those homes on the right side, there's a bunch of overgrown jungles, right? Those are actually parks. If you just turn those parks into community gardens, and you have one area concentrate on kale, another area concentrate on something else, that's how we're going to be able to make farmers out of our own people. Right. People see it now as, there's no money there, there's nothing there. Sure, you know, it won't happen right away, but you know, if we, what we want to do is make Guam an export-based economy, and it's doable. It's doable, and we get fresh food. We talk about true food security. You know, people think, say we bring everything, which is true. We bring everything in from farms in Mexico and California. We can grow our own stuff. I do it at home, so I know.
Going to school in Molesto Elementary, my teacher, the late Mr. Tsakenko, we used to grow cabbage and beans, and when we had a garden at the school. And you know, when you grow your own food, it really shows you everything that goes into the process, and there's also a sense of pride. And,
that's right.
I mean, everyone's trying to buy local now, so.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. There's this thing called also vertical farming. A lot of states are doing that back there.
Right.
You don't need a lot of land. You can just start stacking things up in trays and growing things on trays, and uses very little water. You can use like LED light. You don't actually need sunlight.
Well, we just have a couple minutes left to wrap up our show, so we wanted to give you that opportunity to address, the public on why they should vote for you on Saturday.
Okay, Dave, go ahead. You first. You first, and then I'll.
Hey, folks. Dennis and I, like I said, we're just honest folks. We have a plan, 10-step action plan into the future. We've got no ties to any special interests or business. We just want to do the right thing for the community, and make things happen with this plan. We can do it. We're action-oriented. He's got his reputation in the legislature. He's done great things on my 30 years in the military. Everything, at this level is leadership, and, it's pushing the right buttons and having a plan, to execute it. So this is what we bring to the table. And folks, if you just give us a chance to get in office, we'll make some amazing things happen.
Great.
Senator?
Great. So before I do a closing, I just want to let the people of Guam know that on Election Day, actually, Dave and I, aside from going around the precincts, will be the taxi service, where we do our own Uber, So, and we've been promoting this on our website. If anyone needs a ride, even if you need access transport, we've arranged that. Call us at 648-LOVE. I don't know what that stands for, what number that is, but 648-LOVE, or call myself, always giving it out, 687-1573. Call us, and we'll make arrangements to pick them up, to take them to the polls, and they can have barbecue at our hospitality tents, right? But really, in all seriousness, to Chris and to Bree, thank you so much for this opportunity. To the people of Guam, I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to come visit you at your homes. to acknowledge us when we come up to you at the mall or supermarkets. This has been a humbling experience for Dave and I, especially for Dave because he's never been in politics. But we put everything on the line for you. And so we've come up with this 10-step action plan. We're showing you clearly in detail how we're going to address the challenges our island faces. Please give us an opportunity. We want to serve you as your governor, lieutenant governor. And nothing will matter if we don't pass the primary election. So come out on Saturday, come out and vote for Rodriguez Cruz. Just like I haven't let you down. Well, maybe some people feel like I've let them down as a senator.
There's always a couple.
Yes, that's right. I want to let you know, people of Guam, that we'll work very hard and we won't let you down. So, Sedus Masi, thank you very much, and God bless Guam.
Well, there you go.
Quickly, you can read the your 10-point action plan on your website.
So if you didn't get a copy in your mailbox, and yes, it was part of a circular, so it was legal. Some people call us up and say, "You got it in your mailbox. You're not supposed to do it without a stamp." I said, "No, it was part of a circular." Yeah. But they can go to our website at weloveguam.com. It's user friendly. You can click on each of the different chapters. And this is a work in progress. This is something that where we're still looking for more comments. That's why we have these lines over here for people to write down their notes. Talk to us, speak to us, because as we head into the general election, God willing, we pass Saturday. We're going to refine this and make it better because we just love Guam.
There you go. A fluid plan.
There you go.
And just real quickly, I know that earlier in the week we had announced that we were going to be having all of the gubernatorial teams.
Yeah, we did.
On the after party.
Yeah, we
did. We sure did. We got commitments. They scheduled to be on with us, but canceling for scheduling conflicts. Tomorrow, Ray Tenorio and Tony Atta, they were scheduled to be on the show, but we were informed today, again, due to scheduling conflicts, they would not be able to be on our program. Also on Friday, we did schedule with
Lou and Josh,
right? And we were informed also that due to scheduling conflicts that they would not be able to appear on the after party, so you will not be able to engage with them.
We'll come back. Invite us. We'll come back. It's free media, right?
There you go. On behalf of the Rodriguez Cruz team, representing the Democratic gubernatorial ticket, and my co-host Sabrina Salas-Manzanati. My name's Chris. Thanks for watching KUM News D18. The after party está. Adios.
Adios.
Adios.